Today I will be showing a full body mobility video from home, starting with the upper extremity. So we're going to start with the wrist, and in a quadruped position, you're just going to rock back and forth, try to get as much wrist extension as you can. Then we're going to, in that same position, but moving a little bit forward, you're going to put your wrist in flexion and you're going to rock side to side, trying to get a little bit more range with every rock that you do. From the wrist, we're going to go to the shoulders, and from a quadruped position, you're going to sit back on your heels as much as you can, and you're going to try to reach forward as far as you can. These exercises should be held for about 2 to 3 seconds. The entire circuit should be done about 3 times. From a kneeling position, with your arms out in front of you, you want to try to get your arms as high over your head as you can. Sit back into it and continue that motion, trying to get as much range as you can every time you put your arm above your head. From a quadruped position, you want to take your arm under you. With the opposite arm, you want to reach forward as far as you can and turn your head the opposite way to get as much range of motion or stretch in that shoulder that's under you. So reach, and then with your other hand, reach up as far as you can go and turn your head the opposite direction to get the stretch of the arm that's under you. Similar to that exercise, we will be doing threading the needle, a common exercise, adding a little bit of trunk rotation. With my left arm, I'm going to reach as far as I can, and then I'm going to open up my chest and reach as high as I can towards the ceiling. Similar to that exercise, with your hand behind your head, you want to do the same thing. Try to get that left arm as low as possible, and then rotate your trunk as high as you can, trying to get your elbow to the ceiling as much as possible. From the back, you can see I'm trying to get as low as possible, and then I'm opening up my chest. Both of my arms are basically in a straight line when I am doing the trunk rotation. In a side lying position, you want your top leg bent and your bottom leg straight. You can use anything like a foam roller or pillow under your knee if you're not able to get that range of motion with your hip. In this position, both of my arms are going to be extended, one on top of the other, and then I'm going to rotate my upper body, opening up my chest. I'm going to open up my chest without moving my lower body. With this motion, you want your eyes to follow your arm so that your head is moving at the same time your arm is. As you can see from this side, both my shoulder blades are in contact with the floor. For this exercise, I will be laying on my back. You want your heels to be as close to your butt as possible, but your feet together, and you want to keep your shoulder blades in contact with the ground and just move your lower body from side to side, just like that. To progress this exercise, we're just going to add a little bit more flexibility. So with your leg straight up, you want to cross your leg over your entire body, still keeping your shoulder blades in contact with the ground. You should feel a stretch in your hamstring and calf muscles while you're doing it this way. Now we're going into the hip. You want to start in a position where one hip is internally rotated and the other is externally rotated. You want to use your hands behind you to brace yourself so you're not moving a lot with this motion. So you want to only use your lower body, and you're going to switch the position of your hip. So whatever hip was internally rotated is now going to be externally, and vice versa. If this movement is too hard for you, you can use yoga blocks under your knees so that you're not getting that full range of motion as I am. From this position, you want to go into a pigeon stretch. So extending one leg behind you and the other one kind of right under your body. Again, this is an exercise where the full range of motion might not able to be achieved, so you want to take as much weight off of that hip as possible so you can rock into this movement as I am doing in the video. If you are able to get that full range of motion, you want to push your foot forward to get a deeper stretch, and you can still move in and out of the motion, trying to get a little bit deeper into that motion as you can. For more hip, you want to start in a half kneeling position, and you want to push your hips forward as much as you can. From this view, you can see that my knee doesn't have that much range of motion, and most of it is coming from my hips. From this position, you want to go into a lunge just to add a little bit more of that thoracic rotation. So in a lunge position with your legs straight out behind you, you want to do that chest opening, trying to get your arms in line. We're going to end this video with an ankle mobility exercise. So in the similar position of the hip flexor exercise, you want to put all your weight on your thigh and kind of push forward so your ankle gets into that dorsiflexion. You want to make sure that your heel is in contact with the ground. You're going to feel a stretch in your calf closer to the bottom. But you don't want to keep that heel off because you want that stretch in your calves.